I'm your host, Brian Watkins, and welcome to my show. Now, this is about the other side of what's going to take place because of the closing of Backpage.com, which is a good thing as far as eliminating children, vulnerable women being sold as human trafficking. Now, that's a good thing because at least they'll be able to um, have an opportunity to put their lives back together after something so terrible happening to them because no one deserves to be treated that way. But here's the backlash on something like that. I did my research on the money that Backpage.com owners made from advertising um, on their adult section for escorts, body rubs, and all of the other things that is in that specific category for adults only. A few years ago, they had made like 3.5 or 4, $5.3 million. Okay. Last that was checked for 2014, they made $135 million on advertising alone from the adult section. Now, even though most of it I had learned was from, and I didn't know this, was from children, child trafficking, prostitution. I didn't know that. But I'm saying that to say this. They deliberately had people working in specific areas in the Backpage.com corporation that was wording the ads in a way where it was still allowed to advertise children for sale for prostitution. So they said they didn't want to take the ads down completely because it was bad for business. Now, of course, Backpage.com owners benefited greatly from this, but also pimps and prostitutes benefited as well. Now, like I said before, and I'll always say it again, it was a good thing that this is closed, but there's a lot of things that is still open that is going to actually become worse because I say they waited too long to close it. That's a lot of money. You got a lot of pimps that's been riding dirty for a long time with this. So with prostitutes. So they didn't put a replacement like rehab for these people. Usually, it's severe jail sentences for pimps. Um, in most cases, it could be severe prison sentence for prostitutes that are adults, not children. Um, I'm sure they may have some type of programs, for them to rebuild their lives, rehabilitate themselves. But three, $5.3 million, and then it jumped up to $135 million that they made off of adult placing ads on Backpage.com to participate in escorts, body rubs, things of that nature. That's a lot of money that is no longer available to the owners of Backpage.com, pimps, prostitutes. Okay. Now, I did my research for a long time on Backpage.com on how I call them gorilla pimps was living. They was rolling strong. I mean, they had BMWs, Lamborghinis. They was living large. Okay. Not to mention some of the prostitutes were living large too. Now, like I said, a good thing of eliminating it, right? Shutting it down, right? Great, great job. However, these people are beyond repair. So you got usually the pimp probably gonna go to prison. Like I was trying to look to see the day when they had closed Backpage down Monday. Did a series of arrests follow in all 50 states with pimps, and so far I have not seen it yet. So a lot of them escaped. Okay. Then you got the same thing with prostitutes. I didn't see any arrests, in all 50 states so far. I'm still looking. So you still have a lot of them still out here. Now these people are turned out. because they benefit off greatly. $135 million. They benefited off it greatly, even if they got 25% of that money, a third of that money, or 50% of it. They benefited off of it greatly. Now, nothing is available to replace the um, absence of that type of income. So, a job at Burger King, McDonald's, a car wash, a paper route, that's unheard of to these kind of people. So, what is it going to do to people like ourselves that was on the sideline observing all of this? We become a target because these people are not used to working, not like that. So it's more breeding grounds for crime in the parking lots of a McDonald's, in a bathroom of Burger King, or inside Target bathroom, or while you're shopping. These people are going to be out there. And you know how it is with anything. Like the late Tupac Shakur said, he said, in the beginning, if you're hungry and you're seeing a group of people and they're eating, you look, you might walk away. But another couple of months go by and you still see those people eating. You might knock on the door and they don't answer. So another few months go by and there's more people in there eating, you still ain't eat. You gonna bam before you know, you're gonna kick the door and you come in and try to get a piece of chicken. And I'm saying that to say this. That's what's going to happen with this. You know, the children that was exploited in child trafficking, I'm happy that they did rescue them. That, that part is great. But because the pimps and the prostitutes in a massive scale was not arrested and either incarcerated or given some type of rehabilitation or replacement to replace that kind of money, you know, it's just going to get worse because they're still out here, you know. And like I said, most pimps that's involved in the former lifestyle of what was being advertised on Backpage.com, they call them guerrilla pimps. What do I mean by that? The definition of a guerrilla pimp is one that don't pimp on their